Hello, guys. Hope you're doing well. This is TJ, and you're listening to Beyond the Ring podcast. And this is my review of new A&E biography on Mick Foley. And I was quite excited to discuss about this because this was a very good biography. I can say that this was a very good biography that I enjoyed after Booker T because in the between we saw Shawn Michaels biography, which was also very good. But I mean, we actually I known about him somewhere. I read about him. I only didn't know about his early career and all in his work and all that time. So it was kind of a known kind of a biography, but this biography was very good. And last week we had Ultimate Warrior, and Ultimate Warrior was also very good, but it had some dark issues and it had some emotional thing going on, and controversial type of stuff. But if you see this biography, Mick Foley's biography, and this didn't have any I don't know if they sugarcoat something, but this didn't have any bad influence or any controversial stuff that he had. I mean, I can't think about how he can do that, because that much of a nice guy he was. So that's my thought about him. I don't know anything if he had done maybe, I don't know, but that's my thought. And this biography was very good. So without any further ado, let's get into this. Before we go get into this review and discussion, be sure to like, share, subscribe, and for more wrestling content like this. And without any further ado, let's now get into this then. So the biography actually started off with focusing upon his early childhood, his life, his friendship, and all his interests that he had. Yeah, so he actually was a very athletic guy, and he actually used to compete in football, basketball in his early school days. And he had a famous childhood friend known as Mark Curtis, who we know about as a WCW referee, and he was a very close friend with him. And we also see Kevin James, who was a very close friend of him as well, in high school wrestling teammate. He was a high school wrestling teammate of Mick Foley, and Foley was a fan of professional wrestling from the start. He used to watch pro wrestling with his dad, and he actually find his love in professional wrestling. Like he actually wanted to become professional wrestler kind of thing. He actually used to kind of enact and all the moves and the maneuvers of the wrestling, the elbow drop and all. We also actually see some footages and all. And he and his friends actually filmed matches in their backyard, mixed backyard, just for fun. And there was he used to make a joke as well about himself to people in school, and that actually made that his friends actually didn't make him the joke, because he actually made the joke himself. So that's why. And it was a kind of a different character that he was, because he was actually, this biography I wanted to tell that he was a kind of a talent, that natural born talent, and he was a pro wrestling mind, on mode, always on mode, because he always had his thinking how to get over, and how to kind of improve upon every steps, or every kind of layer, or every kind of character that he portrayed in his entire career of wrestling. So we get into the biography then. So one night there was a girl named girl. They didn't show the name actually. A girl, they were having a date, and the girl mistakenly called him Frank. And Mick then thinked upon this, and he wrote the script to he was kind of yeah, kind of starting to have a movie produce, kind of not a producer, filming Legend of Frank Foley. And this was the time he created the character Dude Love. And we also see some early footages of his character and his promos with his friends. And he was such a natural born talent, and this was the proof of that, because at such younger age you are finding your own character, and you are taking your own promos, and you're writing about that, you're producing, you're showing about that's a once in a lifetime talent, I would say. And we also saw the mix, the legendary roof dive. We have seen in many things that we have seen as well. So his legendary roof dive was also the finale scene of the movie. And then he got to the pro wrestling interest that he got into. He wanted to kind of he decided on to become a pro wrestler. He attended a big match that he wanted to be that he that he wanted to be at Madison Square Garden, where Jimmy Snuka, uh, Jimmy Snuka actually dived off a cage into Don Morocco. They had their match. Jimmy Snuka versus Don Morocco, with Jimmy Snuka with a superfly splash. And Foley then actually that moment made the decision to become a wrestler after seeing that match. And Mick's friends thought that he was crazy, but his parents actually supported him for the decision. But he also, his father actually said to him to complete the college, and he actually used to work independent shows on weekends while he was going to college. And such was the hard work he was doing to get into this business, and that's commendable, man, because he was not traveling just like 1 to 2 miles or something. He was traveling 200, 300 miles daily, weekly, in a weekly basis. So there was money going on, and the time and all, the studies and all that he wanted to do. So he was he was so into that environment. He wanted to do this stuff in his life. So that's why. So then he actually started his career. Actually started Mick started his career in started his career kind of planning to be a dude love character, but he actually think about that he was not kind of fully into that kind of talented in kind of change kind of a very full product ready product to be as a dude love character. Therefore he created a Cactus Jack. That was a name that he had a major career on in WCW, in WCCW. And Mick Foley actually had a pivotal point in his wrestling career to turn into the wrestling. Turned into the opportunity, because Dave Meltzer, who you know as a wrestling journalist, used to actually write about shows and all, and actually wrote about Mick Foley. And he said that in his one of his write up, that he is good. Mick Foley is as good as any indie wrestler in the country. So it actually received some big attention from big wrestling promotions, and he actually was received offers from three larger promotions. And he initially signed with CWA, Championship Wrestling Association in Memphis, before he makes to he had a brief period in Memphis. He worked in brief period in Memphis, and he actually was then going to World Class Championship Wrestling. And he actually also said upon that. He stated that he necessarily have that pain when he does all this hardcore stuff, but he felt that little less than and he actually had that kind of a holdover, or he was hold over the pain than others, that he actually stated. So he wanted to do the different moves as well, very different. If one guy is doing the back body drop in the ring, he used to think about that, how can I do this move differently in a very hardcore setup. So he actually introduced that hardcore setup into that concrete floor, that elbow drop, that is patented elbow drop, that is trademark thing. And he actually also used to have his suggestions on the camera angle that he wanted to, and just from the top to the bottom. And that's a nice shot, man. He had that thinking as well about the production as well. So he was a like-minded, very minded wrestler that you got. He was a very natural talent, and he wanted to be just not want to kind of gain money or something. He wanted to be over as a wrestler. He wanted to love this stuff. He wanted to just embrace this moment. That was his character, and that was him. That was Mick Foley. And he actually wrestled as Cactus Jack Manson in WCCW, because Robert Fuller said that he looked like Charles Manson, and they actually took upon his name to be Cactus Jack Manson. He actually worked there in a slightly different character, in a very changed way, and he became a top heel in that at that time in World Class Championship Wrestling. And this actually took an interest upon WCW, and they actually planned to signs him in his work as of seeing his work as a Manson. And prior to this WCW, he had this accident that he had, where he lost two front teeth. And when he arrived in WCW, Jim Ross was a booker there in WCW, and he looks upon him and he says, there's no problem, because you look good in that, and that actually he said that that look actually add a new layer, or add kind of a very good change to his character that he was going to portray, Cactus Jack. And WCW liked him, and he actually was performing, but his style, that WCW didn't like that, because company felt that also company felt that his work in the his style and all, that was not kind of in the fit of the WCW style that they had, because his style is kind of Japan style. You can say that matches, or some type of ECW style or something. That was his style. So they weren't liking it. But WCW did say that they also had that view that he was a character that he also always wanted to improve. As I said in this, as I was speaking about, he always wanted to change. He always had the ideas for his character, and some of the guys at that time didn't have any idea, and they were just sitting around and stood waiting around for some ideas from the company. But Mick Foley was not like that. He had his own ideas for his character. He was evolving every single time. He was a pro wrestling mode in 24/7 kind of mode he was in, because he always wanted to change himself in his portrayal of his any character that he actually displays. As he and then he gone to, after WCW didn't want to have that style, he actually gone about in the independent wrestling shows, where he actually worked there, and they had not very much of fans there, but he actually worked over there, and he actually get over, and he created more buzz and in that area. And this actually led to again WCW signing him another chance to work in the promotion. And following there's the match, infamous match with Vader that he had, where he lost a piece of his ear, and he was actually had tangled upon that rope, and he actually pushed upon that rope, and he actually cut his ear off. And then he was gone to hospital, and he was not thinking about the pain, or anything other kind of what the doctors would say about him. But he was not thinking about that. He was thinking about the promos that he could cut in the next show or next time. And that's one of the proof that I am saying that he just wanted to change himself every now and then. And he actually think about that this ear thing that he had could lead to a program with Vader for a long time. But Eric Bischoff wasn't interested about it in this angle. But because Eric Bischoff, I think so, he was just stuck upon this idea that his style is not different, and this style would not be confining with our promotion. And this actually led upon one extra reason to just release him. So Bischoff actually felt that his style was a kind of a liability to this company, and actually support Eric Bischoff's opinion as well, because as an executive producer, as a promoter, you think about that. You think about your company and your organization. If something unusual happens, then there's a responsibility. Then there's a that name that is gone. So they were the biggest promotion that time after WWF. So they didn't want to be had some dent on their name. So that's what the Eric Bischoff did, and he actually gone about in Japan, IWA, and in his work in IWA Japan is very appreciated, because he worked in death matches there, and a lot of barbed wire death matches and exploding death matches we saw. And that he actually wanted to do that, and he actually performed in death matches there, and he was good at them. He wanted to do that. And then he gone to ECW, where Paul Heyman had his interview. He was there, and Paul Heyman said that interview in this biography. Paul Heyman said that we actually took upon notice him, and he actually so blended with our style, and he actually hired Mick Foley, and Mick Foley had some great work there as well. And there was a point when Mick was hitting a guy with a cane, and there was a fan who was actually carrying a cutout of Kane Dewey. Dewey, if you don't know, is the son of Mick Foley, real life actually. Mick Foley's son, and Mick's wife Colette didn't like that what he was doing, but that sign was made with the Mick's permission. But Mick actually think upon that what his wife said would be kind of changed into the storyline kind of angle, and he that feelings turned into his new character, and and he turned heel in ECW by creating a kind of anti-hardcore gimmick. And this hardcore promos and his character work was one of the best that he had. And this actually made WWE interested in Bruce Pritchard, and Jim Ross actually convinced Vince, because Vince wasn't a fan of him, because their style didn't as WCW, same thing with WWE as well. The style didn't complement with WWE style. So Vince signed Foley with with a with a nod, with a nudge from Ross and Bruce Pritchard. And there was also a point when they had a pay-per-view match with Shawn Michaels that he talked about. And Shawn Michaels actually asked Mick Foley that if he was happy in what he was doing, and Mick said that I'm happy, but I'm more happy than doing your character, because I wanted to be do this character, dude love character. And actually, Shawn Michaels asked about this character, and Bruce Pritchard was there, and Bruce Pritchard listens to this, and he asked about it, and Dude Love said that Mick Foley says that I actually made this. I have actually made this long ago, this tape and all. And Bruce Pritchard says, just send me that tape, and he just wanted to. He just wanted to work that thing, and Bruce Pritchard then convinced Vince to have that character give it a try, and he was over in that, and because and that led to his three phases of Foley. The most over. You cannot say that every no one phase was bad or something. Every phase had this own thing, because if you see Mick Foley, mankind, he was kind of a psychopath. He was a kind of a deranged kind of a guy. If you see Dude Love, he was a kind of a romantic kind of a very charming kind of guy, a cute guy. But if we see then Mick Foley, he was very different as well. He had his character laid out. He was planning it all. It's all in his minds, and this was the thing that they did up to this point in his biography. And then we got to the Undertaker storyline that they had the legendary Hell in a Cell match, where Mick actually said that he didn't wanted to throw Mick off the cell, but he actually insisted him every day, single day, that he should do this issue. And Undertaker actually finally did, and he actually had that cell thrown over the cell, and he was taken over by the medical team, and he actually said to them that, and he was fine to wrestle. And I was very surprised to see how he actually still surprised to see how he actually go to the top of the cage again. I mean, with that kind of stuff that he had, he didn't have any concussion or something. Such a top fall that he had, and that was a fall that didn't haven't take at that time anyone, or say you can say that it's not the time that we are discussing about. This not the time. It's 90s, and that time these things were not done, and this was the one of the moment that the WWE history books has created, that would be hedged into the WWE history. And Mick's wife, Colette, actually remembered that fall from the over the into the ring that was not planned. Mick didn't tell about him, and she was kind of upset about that, and she was kind of worried about him, and he had that thumbtack spot then. And then the match was over. Undertaker defeated Mick Foley, if you know. So after the post match, we saw some backstage where his wife was very concerned about him, kind of angry as well, very upset as well, because this was not planned of kind of thing. And Vince actually said that you actually did more than what I expected, and but I don't want to see this kind of stuff from you next time. And that's correct, man, because over and over, if you does these type of things, your body would not be, and your life, longevity of life, and your career as well in wrestling would not be there. But Mick Foley hold up that career quite pretty well, I would say, because of the break that he had after this. But I actually wanted to tell one thing as well. Actually missed upon this moment before signing with WWF. Actually, I actually got into that in a spree. Actually, before signing with WWF, actually he was in Extreme Championship Wrestling, and he used to say, if you know Extreme Championship championship wrestling was a hub of hardcore wrestling, and that's a niche of these hardcore wrestling fans. That's there, and then there is there he saw a Kane Dewey. Dewey, if you know don't know, Dewey is the son of Mick Foley, and Kane Dewey, like he was caning uh, um, making that hitting that shot with Kane to a wrestler, but there was a scope that you can do that kind of stuff. But it was kind of upsetted Mick's wife, because of Mick's wife Colette, actually, because Colette actually think about that. So that's not good, because she didn't feel like that, and this was actually done by Mick's permission, actually. That cutout, actually, that sign actually made was Mick's with Mick's permission, and Mick actually think about, as I said, think about like turning into this kind of a storyline, kind of a feeling change into a new character. And Mick Foley kind of turned heel into ECW by a kind of an anti-hardcore gimmick. His promos were very best work, very best work, and we also saw he say about, and that you would be seeing the pure wrestling match of the week, kind of that kind of stuff was he was doing. You would not be seeing anything of that kind of. And his character was evolvable, very evolvable. He is three faces, and is this character, and he always had this mind. He wanted to evolve, he wanted to produce the better, the best version of his best version of Vic Foley to the fans. And he's one of the epitome of the best character that evolved. You can undoubtedly say that in top five, you can say that. So this was the thing I actually missed upon. So that was his mind. He was a wrestling mind, actually. If you hire Mick Foley as a booker or something, I don't know if you would be interested or not, or if it would be good or not, but it would certainly be have ideas for Fiend, or if the released Alistair Black and all, because they know about how they can improve on the character, because they already have played that kind of character in their own career. So, man, why Alistair Black? I mean, I'm so sad about Alistair Black, and they all are going to AEW. I'm doubting about that, and they are WWE is going down right now. So, anyways, I'm just not getting into that. And then after I actually stopped upon the Undertaker Mick Foley Hell in a Cell match, infamous match, and then he actually again, actually, after this he actually evolved his character into Mr. Socko, that one of the best character that he evolved. And that Mankind character was missing kind of something that he actually thought about, and he actually introduced upon Mr. Socko, and Socko actually helped him to be in another level, actually. And he was a best superstar at that time of the career. And his best-selling book also was released that time, and took his career even higher after that. And this and that work, they show something about the snippets and all that scenes, that moments and all they show. But after that, he actually thinking about the quit wrestling, because he had so much, because after doing these type of bumps, actually, so many years, you could think about having some moments with family and some resting and all. And he retired from professional wrestling, and he actually didn't enjoy what he did, but he actually enjoyed his family moments, nevertheless, he said. And he actually had two children after that. And his son actually was suffering from autism as well. He actually said upon that, he actually discovered upon that as well. He actually focused upon that as well in this biography. So he was not a enraged kind of psychopath wrestler. He was a psychopath wrestler in his character, but he was a very good family man, that took care about, like a best father he can, of his daughter's sons. And he retired from professional wrestling then. And he actually said about that he did not enjoy this phase of his career, but he actually and then he actually did return after in the TNA. They actually shown about some pictures from 2008 to 2011 where he worked TNA. He actually worked hardcore matches there, and it was also some of the best work that he did there with Sting matches and all we saw in Lockdown 2009. So he actually at that point he wanted to do for the money. And prior to returning in TNA, he had his career. He had three main matches with Edge, Triple H, and Ric Flair that he actually spoke about. He actually returned to. He actually was not kind of happy in that moment because he had no work and he wanted that fans reaction, and he actually loved upon doing. And these three matches, you should see these matches, and these three matches were very good, especially the Edge match which happened in WrestleMania. That was great. And Ric Flair match was also good. Triple H match I haven't seen, I think so, I don't remember. But Edge match, definitely this was a very well match, very well match. And that actually displayed Edge as a very that he can do that stuff as well, kind of hardcore stuff as well, because he actually in his documentary or something, I actually seen about that in Ed's documentary, that he actually said that actually positioned him as a kind of yeah, he can also do some hardcore stuff as well, kind of that thinking that fans had after that. So this was the point, and then we get to the TNA wrestling part. They shows the pictures, and then he actually retired after that. Actually, he come back in 2011, 2013, so for a brief period and all, and then we had a Raw general manager run as well. They didn't show that, I think so, because that's not kind of a very important, very main work, I would say, because this focuses on his wrestling career, considering that. So he has his thing, and uh, after that he retired, and he's now enjoying his phase of his life, he says, his career. But he that time he did for the money, and he's retired now, and he actually turned to stand-up comedy stuff and doing they actually show some stuffs and all his snippets that he had communicating in the with fans, stand-up comedy stuff. And if you see every A&E biography, that wrestlers actually after wrestling and all, either they go to acting after that, or after that they actually finishes it off with a stand-up comedy or thing. Because all the stuff, all the wrestlers actually goes to this stand-up comedy stuff, because we actually saw Ultimate Warrior as well. We actually see, I think so, Booker T as well going for that thing. I think so. There was one more wrestler who was also gone to that, but Shawn Michaels and is the one who is working with NXT right now. So that's that. So that's how he's doing his. He actually is proud about how he's doing, and actually ends up with saying that he states that he lives in pain. His injuries were a small price to pay. He says the true price, according to him, according to Mick, was being able to live with his dreams, out his dreams. So this is a very good motivation finish that he had, because no matter what you want to become, no matter what you wanted to do, if it's a taboo or something as well, if you like that, if you wanted to do that, if you love that doing, then there's no thing that you can stop, that can stop anyone, because that's an important thing you should love about anything you are doing for the interest. And if you have interest, you should do that, definitely. And this was a finish of this, and this was the finish of this documentary. And I enjoyed this documentary. This was a very informative and very enjoyable, very entertaining documentary that we have seen. Mick Foley's career is very treat to watch. His matches are very treat to watch as now as well. But he had displayed that niche kind of wrestling into the mainstream, and brought about into the mainstream. Because did you know about anyone, Nick Gage? He's not into this WWE platform. So only wrestler you can say that did the hardcore stuff like legit was mankind, Mick Foley, and his characters and his layers to his character, and what he did in his career, that's mind blowing, and it's a natural kind of stuff, natural kind of talent. I can sure tell about that. Please tell me about this documentary in the comment section below if you have seen this, and after listening to this, what are your thoughts on this biography? Please put it on the comment section below, and I will see you guys in the next one with we have Steve Austin wrestling documentary as well. I'll be out with that in one day or so. I think so. So I'm planning about that. So be sure to like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff for motivating me for more wrestling content like this. I love to kind of do this documentary reviews and show reviews and all. I would like to discuss about wrestling. That's what I actually plan to start this channel. So please do like, share, subscribe to my wrestling the channel for more wrestling content like this. And I will see you guys in the next one. Until then, be safe, stay energetic. Peace out.